and using our privilege, right? Like privilege is not, and this is something that comes up all the time in like non-Muslim DEI conversations around like white people or men or people of other like privileged dominant identities feeling like, oh, shame and guilt about whatever privilege that they might have, or, you know, worse, like just ignoring it, or like, no, that's stupid, reverse racism, blah, 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 blah. I was poor, so I can't possibly be privileged, whatever, like deflecting or just feeling so much shame that it paralyzes them. Like, that's not constructive. The point isn't to feel like bad for existing as someone with lighter skin, or someone with like who's a man, or someone who is able-bodied, or someone who is neurotypical, or whatever other identity groups that are like the privileged dominant identity. It's not that inherently just existing, being born as who you are is bad. Like, that's not the point, right? The point is that because of the systems and structures of our world from a sociological standpoint that exist, you are by default then given advantages and don't face barriers. So either you have a push, or you just don't have barriers in your way when you try and advance in life. So it's like a combination, depends on the context, that you have to experience, so that if you do actually examine and hold space for your privileges, again, not being shamed into like you existing as who you are, right? Like, I'm a very pale skinned person with hazel eyes, like, and I mention that because I do realize, especially coming on video or anytime someone talks to me in person, and I know like this, I hope this doesn't sound, you know, like, I don't know, arrogant or anything like that, but I am very aware that my eye color is a huge privilege, and people will stop and watch my videos purely because they're like, oh, someone with like non-brown eyes, or someone, I've had many people comment in real life on like, oh wow, your eyes, I'm sorry, like, just like in reality, like people have said like, oh, your eyes are very pretty. And so for me, like, one, Islamically, like trying to be like, stay humble and be appreciative, and again, like, this is not something that I'm a better person because of someone with brown eyes. Like, this is colorism, like this is racism, because there's this favoring of like lighter white European, like Eurocentric features, right? And it's literally nothing about me. I just literally was born this way, right? But because I recognize that that is a privilege that I have, it's not like, oh, I'm never going to be on camera, or I'm just going to apologize or not acknowledge that this is a thing. It's about, okay, I acknowledge that this is a thing, and how can I use it as a tool for justice so that I can uplift the parts of my community as Muslims, like the darker skinned Muslims or Black Muslims, whatever the case may be of their ethnic or racial identity, so that they can then be treated with as much dignity as respect as I am, for literally no reason, just because I happen to exist in this flesh suit,